So, Dre, the Brooklyn Nets saga continues. This week, we got a report from Shams saying that KD told Joe Tsai that he has no faith in the Nets' direction. Shams summed it up by saying that there was a clear message: keep me or the coach and the GM. Not long after that, Joe Tsai tweeted, "Our front office and coaching staff have my support. We will make decisions in the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets." Where do you think all the parties go from here? It's getting pretty wild. Every time the free agency calms down, the Nets jump right back in. What you think about that?
So it's interesting, my man, Richard McBride. Richard McBride was my high school teammate. Then he had a good career at Illinois, and now he's been coaching. I think he's really good at scouting and developing talent and seeing talent before they become who they become. And so I really respect his basketball opinion. And he texted me when it came out. We were ripping and running, whatever. And he says, "Is this real?" And, I'm saying, probably it sounds about right. And he asked me, "How does this even get out? I don't understand. Like, how does something so intimate amongst two people or three people or five people, let's say Joe Tsai, you got GM Marks, you got Steve Nash, the coach, you got KD, and you got KD's business partner, Rich Kleiman. So it's five people." And he was asking me, how does it continue to get out? And he just doesn't quite understand it. And this particular situation was interesting to me because I'm thinking it looks bad on KD, and it probably came from the other side. You know what I mean? Or, but it's still interesting because it's the direct quote from KD saying, KD informed them that it's either me or the coaches. And then for Joe Tsai to respond the way he did, now I'm trying to figure out, did it come from KD's camp because he responded this way, or did they link it and then he responded to make it look like it wasn't from their camp? I was just totally confused. So that's the part I try to figure out more than anything. Who leaked it? Because leaks are for, leverage and, pole position. Absolutely. And so my question to you is, where do you think it came from? And did it backfire on whoever you thought it came from, or did it help whoever you thought it came from? You know what I mean?
I think it always comes from, I think it came from inward, obviously. I think it came from somewhat the net side, clearly. I don't know who it could be. It's a bunch of minions that are always around.
Right.
You'd have been around a new NBA where the owner's kids are usually around as well. Like it could have been absolutely anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Some type of leverage that literally just, had loose lips. My only thing that I think is lost in the sauce is the most valuable person in this situation is who?
Kevin Durant.
All right, so I don't understand when it comes to it, how he gets treated so invaluably. When people don't want to trade him, people know they need him, and they want him to be good. Whether he said he wanted between a GM and why are you married to Steve Nash? He's an unproven coach. KD done had enough coaches and is a basketball savant at this level where he could say, no, this is not good enough. Mm-hmm. I'm not asking you for nothing, but we're trying to win a championship. Why would you bring in a new dude?
Agreed.
But I'm just saying, but I'm sticking up playing advocate for KD. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Well, let me be the devil's advocate then, because I am a fan. I always support K. I'm a big fan of K. But, as K's getting older, I think he should embrace coaching. Embrace the hard parts of being the star player on the team, like the really hard parts. And we always, talk about that. He's a leader with his work ethic. He's a leader with, how he appreciates and just loves the game of basketball. And he plays the right way. We always say that. And I think I saw a picture of him and he looked like he put on some pounds, which is, that is a big message because, he's one of those guys that thinks like, don't let those weights mess me up because I am who I am without the weight. So let's not try to reinvent the wheel, which I respected because he's still that good. But I thought he was a little bit buff. And I said, whoa. Y'all better beware. Right. But at the same time, I really want him to take on that. All right, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Let's bunker down together as a group. Whether it's because you got a young, all the way from the top. You got is first time for everybody. Joe Tsai, young owner, Marks, young first time being a GM. Steve Nash, first time being a coach. So it's just the process, and you have to go through those bumps in the road to really get to that, that place where it's just smooth. It's kind of like it was smooth when he was with us. It's smooth sailing. But I think he should stay in Brooklyn. It's such a big market. It's good for the game, and just figure it out, make it work. Like, everybody grow up and make it work. That's how I feel about the situation.
I also don't. We're talking about this as a talk. I don't think anybody is leaving. Nobody's leaving. You're not.
Yeah. He's in a situation where it's either, look, man, just come out here and play or don't play, because you got 4 years. We got you for a while, so it's not like you're on an expiring contract and then you can just take off a year and we just give up a year. Like, he's getting older and he's
he got everything he wanted. He keep the same energy you had when you got traded there, for sure.
Right.
My only thing is, to a certain extent, if he's asking for certain things, like, hey, bro, like, I might need a little better coach. And we got 4 years of. And I'm not saying Steve Nash isn't a great coach.
No. You're right in what you're
saying. Like, match up with what it is. Like, there's too much you're asking me to do now. Half the time, my man's barely plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The other time, our third fiddle was whatever. So now I got to score down there 50 when it comes down to it. Literally by myself, crunch time, just in case something happens. Like, all right, bro. Help me a little bit more. I don't know why this is popped into my brain, but now all I can think of is when Steve Nash was holding him for dear life.
Yeah,
like when you break it down, it's like,
when you said all that, I'm like, oh yeah,
and that's the same vibe from the water boy, the one coach. I'm not calling Steve Nash a water boy coach. I'm just saying, like, KD, like, man, motherfucker putting up 50 every night.
Yeah,
y'all do something. like with 50, that leadership and everything, you definitely need leadership. You definitely need consistency. But it's like, bro, this 50 piece, that's the cheat code.
Yeah.
Like now everybody else get around it and let's figure it out. That's the only thing I can probably say if he came down to that point. I understand everything you're saying. I understand the number one thing he needs to be is accountable and to step up and take this next step as a legend and as a leader or whatever else you're trying to ask for. I'm just saying, when he's getting blown up all over the place and this and the other, he's not off for if he asks for something.
Mm-hmm.
He's worth listening to if he says this. If he's that valuable, keep it conducive. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's I'm throwing a wrench in it right here, right?
Holler at me, bro.
Let's figure out all the coaches that KD had. Because it seems that there is always some type of, at some point, that the relationship is, I don't know what you call it. It's never been hostile. KD's never had any interactions with a coach where it's been, it's been put out anywhere, whether it's been on SportsCenter, on social media, or anywhere where you can say KD gets into a spat with his coach. That never happens.
Right.
But there have always been like those, whispers about, KD might not like this about the coach. KD might like that about a coach. And it may not have been from KD, but it was weird because it wasn't really much, but, he's been through some coaches.
I mean, but how long did Scott Brooks coach him?
Scott Brooks had him for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, think about the NBA coaching. We speak on platforms that we'll talk about you. Like, how hard is it to win it? Like, everybody wins a championship. It's like, no, only 20 people in the league that won a championship. This is a great coach. Like, no, it's on. Brad Stevens was part of the Celtics for 9 or 10 years. That's not even normal. So, like, when you talk about like certain coaches, like, a pro needs a new coach every 4 to 6 years, maybe, unless it's.
You might be right. No, you might be right because I mean. Phil and MJ had the little break. It was like, all right, I just need a break. And then Phil and Kobe and them had a break.
And then I'm not gonna speak for Tom Brady, but shit, they didn't have a break, but they couldn't stand each goddamn each other.
That's what it felt like.
Saying like, all right, stop treating me like a kid, bro.
And Bron's had how many rings Bron has?
4. What you got? 15 tries.
No, Bron got 4 rings. He got 2 with Spo, but then
that's what I'm saying. So like when we're talking about
their situation was, they really had a physical interaction.
And that's what I'm saying. When you break down KD, you play with him. His personality is not confrontational. So what that could he, and at the end of the day, he might be we use Russ as an example. He's taking a back seat more often than not, and he's never said one thing. So, like, if I was KD, I'd be back. Not saying because of Russ, but I'd be mad at any coach if I'm complaining to get the rock, and he hasn't. So, like, let's separate it and not do what we think it is. And say, hey, what do we know about him? All he asks maybe is for a different coach or a different GM that might listen to what he needs in these last 4 years. So it won't be left on him in the last hour to go get 49. And people forget, like, bro, it literally is just not me. Half these people haven't showed up. People worry about all this other stuff. We did some dumbass big name trades that helped us none because people are 4 or 5 years past their prime. Let's discuss that. And if y'all need me to hit that front office for y'all, let me know. Because I got the formula.
New York is back. That's what it sounds like.